Defeat against Arsenal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the third consecutive season. Spurs only have 4 points from their opening 4 games, but boss Ange Postecoglou has stated again, I win things in my second year. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Spurs in the Media, where I'll be going through all of today's newspapers, looking at all of the articles and the player ratings from the game Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 1. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's get straight into it. Let's have a look at today's back pages. Now let's start with the Times newspaper. It's got this picture here of Gabriel celebrating, of course, scoring the only goal of the game as Arsenal beat Spurs 1-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday afternoon. It says here, Postecoglou's trophy vow. Ange Postecoglou has said his Tottenham Hotspur side can still win a trophy this season despite defeating the North London derby, leaving them with only 1 win from their first 4 games. Gabriel headed in the winner for Arsenal, who claimed a statement Premier League victory at the home of their rivals despite being without the injured Martin Odegaard and suspended Declan Rice. The Times newspaper have also stated that Postecoglou has previously insisted he usually wins silverware in his second season at a club and remained bullish his record will continue. He said, I'll correct myself, I don't usually win things, I always win things in the second season. I just said it now, I don't say things unless I believe it. Also from the Times newspaper, on the front of the game supplement, it says here, White Hart Lane with a picture of Arteta. Giving directions to his team, and it says Mikel's Arsenal win 3 on the spin at Tottenham for the first time since 1988. And inside the sports supplement, it says here, set piece magic gives Arsenal the edge again. Ange Postecoglou with his head in his hands, and they have shown this picture here of Gabriel heading home. Romero meant to be marking Gabriel. It just seems like he is a mile away. Now, an interesting stat, this published by the Times newspaper, set-piece goals conceded by Premier League teams since the start of last season, excluding penalties. Nottingham Forest are first with 23 goals conceded. Tottenham are second with 18 conceded. Villa 17, Manchester United 15. Now, the player ratings today from the Times newspaper, they have given Vicario a 5 out of 10, Pedro Porro a 6, Romero a 5, Van der Ven a 7, Udogie a 6, Kulusevski a 6, Bentancur a 5, Sub Sarr a 6, Maddison a 5, Brennan Johnson a 5, Sub Odegaard a 5, Solanke a 6, Heung-min Son a 6. Now for a report from the Guardian newspaper, on the back page, again, it's another picture of Gabriel celebrating the winner at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He is the best in his field. Arteta praises set-piece coach after more derby glory. Also, a double-page spread published by today's Guardian, and it states here, Gabriel rises to occasion to swing Derby Arsenal's way. Injustice, a costly suspension, injuries, Erling Haaland, the schedule. Arsenal had watched the obstacles line up in front of them, and they knew what everybody was thinking. Champion teams in the making find a way to cope. To Mikel Arteta's delight, Arsenal coped. The Guardian have also stated here, for Spurs, there was only frustration. Ange Postecoglou is not a man for compromise. Everybody knew how the manager would try to play, and his starting 11 reinforced the message. James Maddison and Dejan Kulusevski in attacking midfield roles, looking to push behind the front three. His team simply could not make it happen. The Carabao Cup trip to Coventry on Wednesday has assumed greater significance. Now for a report from the Daily Express, and another picture published in today's newspapers of Gabriel celebrating Arsenal's goal. The art of war, Boss Lord's ugly derby win after sleepless nights blight build-up. Mikel Arteta loved watching his Arsenal side win ugly at North London rivals Tottenham, and the Gunners manager said his teams were hungrier for a victory after the midweek injury to captain Martin Odegaard. Now for a double-page spread from today's Daily Express, and it says here, nearly men up for a title fight. Patched up Gunners show mettle to send the warning. As statement victories go, this was as big as they can get for Arsenal. It then shows this picture here of Postecoglou with his head in his hands, and it says, not a great start. It also states from the Daily Express, it was unforgivable from a Tottenham point of view because they conceded 16 goals from set pieces last season, which was the highest in the Premier League. Arsenal have now scored 23 since the start of last season and are getting better at them, while Spurs head coach Ange Postecoglou has still not learned his lesson. Spurs fans booed at the end, a reflection not just of this defeat, but an underwhelming start to the season. It shows the league table here. Spurs sat in 13th. Played 4, won 1, drawn 1, lost 2. We have 4 points. The player ratings from the Daily Express today: Vicario a 7, Porro a 7, Van de Ven a 7, Romero a 6, Udogie a 6, Bentancur a 6, Sub Sarr a 5, Maddison a 5, Kulusevski a 6, Brennan Johnson a 5, Sub Odegaard a 6, Heung-min Son a 6, and Dominic Solanke a 6. Now for a report from the Daily Mail, and on the back page it says here, we believe Arteta says Derby win has fired up Arsenal for Crunch City clash. Mikel Arteta roared last night that Arsenal's Premier League victory over Tottenham would fill them with fire for the next challenge. A double page spread from the Daily Mail as well. It says here, depleted Arsenal show strength in adversity to stand up in the title race. And it says here, 5 months on and Spurs still haven't learned. Carbon copy, Gabriel's goal is similar to the one scored by Kai Havertz in Arsenal's win in April. A free header 6 yards out with Romero at fault again. The player ratings from the Daily Mail today: they have given Vicario a 6, Pedro Porro a 6.5, Romero a 6, Van de Ven a 7, Udogie a 6.5, Kulusevski a 6, Bentancur a 5.5, Maddison a 6.5, Brennan Johnson a 6, Solanke a 6, Heung-min Son a 6.5. They have given subs Pape Matar Sarr a 6 and Wilson Odegaard a 6. They have given boss Ange Postecoglou a 6. It says here, his team only have themselves to blame after conceding from another set piece. They have given referee Jared Gillett a 5 out of 10. Now for a report from the Daily Mirror today, and you've guessed it, on the back page, Gabriel again, Gunners boss, happy to dig out ugly win as Gabriel's header sinks Spurs art and graft. Mikel Arteta loved watching his Arsenal side win ugly at North London rivals Tottenham. Double page spread from the Daily Mirror today, and it says here, power of London, Gunners claim victory and bragging rights in the derby. And it's got this picture here again of Ange Postecoglou, head in his hands, and it says Spurs are set in their ways under Ange. Now some match facts and stats here from the Daily Mirror. Possession, Spurs had 64% of the ball to Arsenal's 36%. Shots on target, Spurs had 5 to Arsenal's 4. Shots off target, Spurs had 4 to Arsenal's 0. Total passes, Spurs had 492 to Arsenal's 281. Corners, Spurs had 7 to Arsenal's 6. Offside, Spurs 2, Arsenal 3. Fouls, Arsenal 10 to Tottenham's 13. Cards, Spurs received 5 yellow cards to Arsenal's 3. Player ratings from the Daily Mirror: Vicario a 7, Pedro Porro a 7, Van de Ven a 7, Romero and Udogie both with 6s, Bentancur also with a 6, Maddison with a 5, Kulusevski with a 6, Johnson a 5, Son and Solanke with 6s, and subs Sarr and Odegaard, Sarr with a 5 and Odegaard 6. Now let's have a look at a report from the Sun newspaper today, and on the back page it says the good, the bad and the ugly. Injuries gave Arteta sleepless nights, but Gab seals gritty win. Also a double page spread from the Sun newspaper, and it says soaring, roaring Arsenal is cool, calm and 3 points collected for Mikel's high flyers. Here, just 4 games into the new campaign, was a thoroughly impressive display of Arsenal's title credentials. Now let's hear from Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou and Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta. This is what they both had to say after the game in their post-match press conferences.
to a certain extent. I still think we had some good opportunities, but yeah, we could have had so many more. We just wasted some of our good play with, similar to the other games where we just haven't really had that sort of conviction in the front third to, take advantage of whether it's us winning the ball back or getting into that front third and nothing coming of it. So, you kind of keep opposition teams in the game when you do that. Yes, like I said, we handled them well for the most part, but we switched off for one, and you pay a price, and that's what happens. Like I said, it's always going to be a tight game, fine margins in these kind of games, and they took their key moment, and we didn't. Yeah, look, I think we've handled them okay. Even today, I thought we handled them. Yeah, they're obviously a very big threat from set pieces, and but it only takes one, and it wasn't just Romero, but a couple of others switched off as well, and the delivery was spot on, and Gabriel's always a threat in those situations. So we paid a price for it. Yeah, I thought Dom worked hard, but like I said, he hasn't played for over a month. Only second game of the year, so I just thought there was a lot of times where, if we just had a bit more, like I said, belief, conviction in that front third, that we could have made so much more of our play to create really good opportunities, and even the ones we did, we didn't. Again, like I said, we lacked some real conviction in our execution to really, make the most of them. Oh, just got to keep working at it, mate. That's my job. I've just got to keep, giving the feedback to the guys, trying to guide them in the right way to make them see that, for all our dominance in the game, you need to really be, clear-headed in those kind of moments, and that's my role to try and, guide them in the right way. Look, I know. Look, I know. For some reason, people think I don't care about set pieces, and it's a narrative that you can keep going on for ages and ages. I understand that. Like I said, we work on them all the time, like we do at every other team. You know that they're a threat. As I said, for the most part, we handled them really well today, but we switched off for one, and we paid a price. And you learn from that, and you move on. But it is what it is, Matt. It's like it's my burden to carry, mate, and I'm happy to do that. It's not like I've always said. For me, there's a bigger picture that's at play here that's much more important than the finer details of us getting to where we want to. And for us, the way forward is to, as I said, try and turn the football we're playing into now into something meaningful.
Hi, Ange. Last time you played Arsenal, I remember afterwards you spoke about Romero being outstanding and you needed to get a bit of him into the others. Did you see a bit more of that from the other players today?
I don't know, to a certain extent. Look, we're a team that's, I think progressing in many areas, and with all that sort of progress, there's always kind of new challenges and new things that you need to overcome. And as I said, when I look at the 4 games in isolation this year, our football's probably been more consistent and more compelling than it was their first 4 games last year. But obviously the results don't reflect that, and so I think we've made progress in certain areas, but there's other areas, like I said, we still need to improve on, and that's my job to kind of fill those gaps as quickly as possible.
Okay, thank you. Question, raise your hand and we'll come to you. Cam's ready at the back. We'll start with Nick Callow from Haters.
Hi, Mikel.
Your thoughts on a very challenging game with
Well, super happy, obviously. We know what it means to our club, to our people, to win a London derby. And we have the power to try to make them very happy. So hopefully we have achieved that, and that makes it very special. On the performance, we had moments in the game, some really good ones, some others that we have to suffer. We suffer because we have to adapt a little bit the plan because of the players that we had available, and I loved it because since the day that we started to get bad news, the team got hungrier and hungrier to play the game, and that's a big compliment to everybody at the club to behave in a certain way, you know, and it's a tough week that is coming up, and instead of finding any little excuses or arguments to do that, do the opposite, face the challenge, play with courage, acknowledge our qualities and what we have to be able to win a game, and we actually done it.
As you say, huge run of games this week, Champions League on Thursday, and then Manchester City the weekend. No Declan Rice or Martin Odegaard in the midfield, other players injured too. What does it tell you about your squad that didn't come with?
The people that we have, I think I already spoke during the week, you know, people that are hard, that they have thick skin, that they love the game and they love winning. In order to love the game and win, you have to do a lot of things that sometimes people call them ugly. And enjoying doing those ugly things is a big compliment of this team right now. And when you are able to do that, normally you get a good gift.
Sammy?
Mikel, in terms of the players you didn't have available today, how much would this result garner more belief in obviously what you're doing? And can I just check on Martin Odegaard and if there's been enough from Friday?
Well, it does, because obviously we won 3 years in a row here. You know, I don't know when's the last time in the history of the club that this happened. So that's a big thing. I think they believe already. You know, we've won a lot of big games. It's a big week coming up. That's going to give us a lot of energy and belief. Obviously, there are a lot of things to get better today. I don't think we've done, especially with the ball, the simple things right at all. I will get better. And regarding Martin, we still have to wait and see. The news he certainly wasn't available to play today.
Matt?
Since the club hired Nicholas Jover, I think you've scored 42 goals from set pieces. I mean, is he, in your eyes, the best in his field? And just how important is that to what you do?
In his field, in other fields, as a person, the relationship that we have, that's why I made a decision to bring it to City when I was there, and then to Arsenal, and him and the staff. You know, they have injected the belief to the players that there are many ways to win football matches. That this is a really powerful one, and it's given us a lot. So big compliment to all of them for sure.
Amy?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just a quick one to start with. How's Bukayo? We've got this big week coming up. Really, any more than he's...
I don't know, because I made 2 changes with the front players and suddenly he's down, so I thought I'd look at the bench and the options that we had. So we have to adapt. I don't know exactly what is it, but he could not continue.
Can I just ask you how interesting a week this has been, trying to prepare with all these new problems coming in and having to, you know, when you have to come up with different solutions and be creative. Is that something that you and your staff have enjoyed? Did you lose sleep?
I didn't enjoy because I didn't sleep much, because I look at Spurs for 4 or 5 days. I had a super clear plan how to do it. I prepared everything, the sessions, the meetings, and then one news, we lose a player, another news, we lose another player, another news, we lose a player, so I have to completely change it and adapt the plan to the players that we had available. So it was a great challenge.
And what does it tell you about the players that you do have, that they're so willing to change things so quickly and you can? You do this and you do this.
That they adapt. Loving the game means that you are able to do things regardless of the context. Jorginho loves the game. He loves the game. He doesn't play it, but loves winning. And when he's not playing, he's throwing like an animal at his age after winning everything. So when you ask him to play 90 minutes, like he hasn't played probably for the last 5 months, he's able, even cramping everywhere, managed to do it. The same with Jurgen. He's been a year out. He hasn't played 90 minutes at all, and he was struggling today. But he managed to do it for the team. And like all this guy, I don't know without a precision already how many minutes he's played, and it was unbelievable, all of them. But that's the spirit and the characters that we have that I love.
Miguel?
Hi, Mikel. The defence and the team seemed very comfortable defending close to their own goal. Were you happy with that? Is that what you wanted? And if so, does that speak to how the team has evolved over the past few years?
I didn't want to. I wanted to press much higher, lose the ball in much better conditions, higher off the pitch, and do that. What I didn't want to do with certain players that we had today missing is expose ourselves to a game that they are incredibly good at. So I have to choose, and the reward I think on the other side was much bigger than acquiring certain risks today against this opponent.
Ed?
And we've got massive week. Obviously, you've got to go to Italy and then go to City. Have you got any concerns about the scheduling of the game on Thursday and then playing City on Sunday?
Whether I have or not, I'm sure we're going to play Thursday and Sunday and then Tuesday. So it's what it is. We have to adapt to that. We're going to be a top team, a very challenging team that is up there. We're going to have to adapt to those things.
Okay, last couple, James.
Mikel, I remember when you were here last season, you said at the final whistle you were praying for the end.
Yeah.
Did you feel a little bit calmer in this game? It certainly felt like the players did.
Yeah. It was, obviously, because after 0-3 to 2-3, you say this cannot happen, and they throw everything at it. They try today, but I think we looked more composed, better organized, and give very, very little away.
And finally to Kai.
Just want a quick word on Gabriel. Stepped all the massive goal today and was man of the match performance. Maybe, I know you value him very highly, but maybe externally doesn't get the praise of someone like Italy or someone like that. But what can you say about him and how important he is for your team?
Well, I think the way he has evolved, first of all as a person, and then on his role at the club, at the team, has been phenomenal. It's been great to watch. This is why we are here. This is one of my passion to give players the environment, to give players the supports, the education, the coaching, to grow and to prepare them for their life and to prepare them to get to levels that probably they didn't think before. And Gabriel is certainly one of the best examples of that. Why? Because he loves what he do, he applies himself incredibly well, and he wants it. And when that happens, normally good things happen to this kind of people.
Just finding this kind of game where you're up against it and things maybe aren't going your way before. Do you prefer that kind of win to a game where you think win 5-0, quite comfortable, everything goes your way? What would you
5-0. But this one today, I think it was extremely special and very happy with it. Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Coventry up next, Wednesday evening in the Carabao Cup. Have a good week. Come on, you Spurs.